I needed to change mics. And so I hope, is it working? Coming through my headphones? Okay. So there was a man walks into a restaurant with a full-grown ostrich behind him. Oh, that's all I need to do to get a laugh? The waitress asks them for their order, and the man says, a hamburger, French fries, and a Coke. And then he turns to the ostrich, and the waitress says, what's yours? And the ostrich says, I'll have the same. A short time later, the waitress returns with the order and says, that'll be $9.40, please. And so the man reaches into his pocket and he pulls out exactly $9.40. So the next day, the man and the ostrich come into the restaurant again, and he orders a hamburger, French fries, and a Coke. And the ostrich says, I'll have the same. And when the bill came, the man reaches in his pocket, and again he pulls out $9.40. Now this becomes a routine for the next couple of days. And then comes Friday. He walks in, and the waitress says, the usual? And he says, no, this Friday, I'd like to have fish, baked potato, and a salad. The ostrich says, the same. Now shortly, the waitress brings the order and says, that will be $19.62. So once again, the man reaches in his pocket, and guess what? He pulls out exactly $19.62 and lays it in her hand. The waitress cannot hold back her curiosity any longer, and I bet you can't either. Excuse me, sir. How do you manage to always come up with the exact change in your pocket every time? Well, says the man, several years ago, I was cleaning the attic and found an old lamp. When I rubbed it, a genie appeared and offered me 2 wishes. My first wish was that if I ever had to pay for anything, I would just need to put my hand in my pocket and I would pull out the exact amount of money. That's brilliant, said the waitress. Most people would ask for $1 million or something, but you'll always be as rich as you want for as long as you live. That's right. Whether it's a gallon of milk, a Rolls Royce, and the extra money, the exact money is always in my pocket. The waitress asked, what's with the ostrich? And so the man sighs, and he pauses, and answers. My second wish was for a tall chick with a big body and long legs who agrees with everything I say. And the point is, be careful what you wish for, the words that you use, as we will see with the law of attraction. I am sure that everyone here, and in our virtual audience as well, have heard about the law of attraction. Am I correct? Yes. And if you're online with us, put it in the chat that you have too. Now, the law of attraction is one of numerous universal laws, or you may heard them called natural laws. Universal laws or natural laws govern everything in our world. Yes, everything. Everything in our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects of our world. Now, these laws are unfailing in spiritual, in mental, and in material aspects. These change not. They are unchangeable laws. And these comes from the words of Edgar Cayce by way of the book Your Life by Bruce MacArthur. Law of gravity keeps water in our glasses, you in your seat, and me up here on stage. The law of survival. All species need to eat, drink, sleep, procreate in order to survive. From The Law of Attraction by Michael J. Lozier. Science has shown that if there are physical laws that can be observed and quantified in one area, there are most probably similar laws in other areas, even if they cannot at this time be quantified. Now, the point here is, if there are laws known and unknown governing our physical world, it is reasonable. There are laws known and unknown that govern the spiritual, mental, emotional aspect of our world. Examples of some of these laws are the law of ideas. One or more thoughts strung together form an idea. Make sense? There's the law of cause and effect that states that every single action, a cause, in the universe produces a reaction or effect. Universal laws are in operation all the time, everywhere, no matter who we are or what we're doing. When we understand how the universal law of attraction works, we will be better able to deliberately attract more of what we want, need, and feels good in our lives, and create heaven on earth. Simply put, the law of attraction is positive thoughts bring positive results. Spiritual teachers and New Thought authors throughout the ages, from Jesus and his disciples, William Shakespeare, Albert Einstein, and such contemporaries as Bob Proctor, Lisa Nichols, and Michael Betworth, have all spoken and or written about the power of positive thinking. And there are many, many, many more, including Charles Fillmore, Unity's co-founder, writes about positive thinking in just about all his books. In Redford's book, Unity Principles, he quotes Fillmore saying, "Like attracts like." That's the law of attraction. A thought will take up its abode in our consciousness with thoughts of like character. The law of attraction continues until combined thoughts make a colony or an idea. The law of attraction went mainstream, if you remember, through the contemporary books and movies such as The Secret. You remember that? Okay. What the Bleep Do We Know? Do you remember that one? Okay. And the emerging sciences of neuroscience and quantum physics. I like to think of the law of attraction in this way. Positive energy attracts positive energy. Everything in our world is energy. And that energy stems from the atom and the electrons that circulate around the atom. These atoms can vibrate, that make up all of the physical items, our bodies and everything in our physical world can vibrate at a low or negative or high or positive frequency. Even our minds, emotional energy can vibrate at a negative frequency or a positive frequency. We are a bundle of divine vibrational energy manifested as mind, heart, body, and affairs. So can you imagine if we physically vibrated, we'd be walking around like this all the time, sending out positive, we laugh, positive vibes. Under the law of attraction, our mind's emotional energy vibrates. We are vibrating all the time, operating under the law of attraction all the time, whether we are conscious of it or not. Now, there is a cycle, okay, of the law of attraction that we observe. Vibrational reaction happens. There's a response, and then it repeats. So when we observe what we receive or have in our lives, that's what we're observing. It could be wanted or unwanted. It doesn't make a difference to the law of attraction. And then there's a vibrational reaction, okay? That happens in our thoughts and our feelings. And the reaction is to what we observe in our lives, okay? Whether we want it or we don't want it. And it can be either negative, we don't want it, or positive, we do want it. And then the law of attraction provides a response or feedback to us. We have from our observation, okay? So that is, it vibrates and gives back to us more of what we were vibrating out, okay? And that's the feedback. That cycle is repeated over and over and over again. And it doesn't take as long as it took me to explain it. It happens at sometimes instantaneously. I see you laughing, Ella. Okay, enough of that heady stuff. Okay, well, a little bit more. Let's see. Now, the cycle repeats and is in play in all areas of our lives. Now, when we think of positive thinking, it was associated to making money or drawing money into our lives, okay? From a business perspective, marketing and drawing the right clients, okay, to sell to, okay? But it also works in relationships, health, career, creative self-expression, spiritual growth, and personal growth too. It is through understanding the law of attraction and ourselves that we can shift from what Lozier calls undeliberate attraction to deliberate attraction. Lozier, okay, gives us a 3-step formula to make this shift from undeliberate attraction to deliberate attraction. And step 1 is to identify your desires, those things that make you feel good, that you want in your life. Step 2 is to raise your vibration. If you're not vibrating at a level that you're drawing it into your life. And if the evidence is, if it isn't in your life right now, then you're not vibrating at a level to draw it into your life. And then the third step is to allow. Now we're going to look at only step 1 today. And then step 2 and 3 will follow in the weeks to come. We have heard many times and in many ways our thoughts and feelings have power. And when they are expressed with words, our words transmit that power. We want to use our skill of observation to observe what is in our lives, excuse me, and what we think and feel about what is in our lives. Now, hear that. We want to notice what's in our lives and notice what we're thinking and feeling about our lives. Lives equate to mind, human and divine, heart, body, and affairs. In doing so, it will help us identify what we truly desire. Okay. Now, you have a worksheet in your handout to take home. And it has all these instructions on it, so you don't have to look now, okay? I just want to give you a heads up about it. Okay? And this is the application part. And you'll do it at home. Okay. I'm encouraging you to take it home. During the next week, I would like us to spend time creating a list of what we desire in an area of our lives of our own choosing. And the areas are these: finance, relationship, health, career, creative self-expression, personal growth, and spiritual growth. You get to choose. Okay? Then the area you choose is what you're going to use to complete the heading. My idea, and an example is relationships. Okay? My ideal relationship at the top of the form. For example, I choose relationship. On the left column, it's what I don't like. So I think back on all my old relationships. What don't I like about them? Okay? I didn't like it that the men were not good listeners. So on the left-hand column, I'm going to put poor listeners. Poor listeners. And then on the right hand of the column, it's what I do like. And so if I don't like poor listeners, then what I do want in my relationships is a good listener. And so that goes a man with listening skills. Goes on the right side. Okay? Now, remember, with our don'ts, just like our denials, we want to keep our observation and descriptions brief so that we can shift to our do's as quickly as possible. Then we don't get stuck. And you know what I say about getting stuck? Getting stuck sucks. We don't want to get stuck in that negative vibration. Okay? So we notice, we write it down, and we move to our do's. Now, I have provided on the sheet our affirmation, a denial. This week it's a denial, okay? And just very easily, we take a breath, and then you'll say the denial. And I'm not going to go through that. I'll just say the denial. I release the negative energy vibrations generated by my thoughts and feelings about these items. And that's what you'll say when you finish the left column, the things you don't want. And then, let's see. And then you'll spend the time just reading over the right column, the things you want in that area of your life. And then you're going to take a breath and notice how you feel. and what you're thinking once you read that list. And if they aren't already in your life, then that's your indication that you're not vibrating at the level to draw it in your life. And we will change that. We will talk about how to change that vibrational energy so that you do draw into your life that which makes you feel good and that you want and that you desire. Okay? Just like humans have learned to deliberately fly, even though our bodies are not equipped for flight, and the law of gravity is in operation in the earth everywhere all the time, we still have figured out how to fly. It's in an airplane, and how to use aerodynamics to accomplish that safely all the time. We want to understand how the law of attraction works so we can deliberately attract more of what we want, need, and that feels good in our lives. And we are able to bring about the renewing of our minds and hearts so that we may prove what the will of God is: infinite love and that which is good and acceptable and perfect. And that comes from Romans 12:2. Namaste.